Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
And so I say, fine, don't wear the sandals. Just give me a pair you already own.
And that's when she tased you.
No, she doesn't tase me till way later in the story.
Way later?
Listen, way later.
What?
Yeah.
Finally, Eli and Cecil.
Or are they?
Yes, Noah.
What?
They are Eli and Cecil.
So you say.
What's up with Noah, guys?
Yeah, it's this week's essay. Eli just had to write about James Randi, and now Noah's going all like super skeptic about everything.
If that is my name.
Okay.
It is your name.
Or is it?
Cecil,
Yeah.
can you do something about this?
Why do I have to do something about it?
I don't know. You're both old, right?
That's true. You are both very old.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Like super old. Very old.
Yeah, I get it.
40s.
Noah.
Yes, Cecil, if that is your real name.
Today's going to be a fun episode, but this isn't skepticism, okay? You're just questioning everything that you already know is true. So that's not going to work.
So you're not going to trick me?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean it. From the bottom of my heart, I won't.
We'll see about that.
Whoa.
Ah, yikes.
You want to go flip the days till one of us died sign back to zero? Then we should.
See? No intentions here at all. Just blood.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, man. We see.
And ventricles.
Yep. Hello and welcome to Citation Needed, a podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts. Because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm Heath, and I'll be hosting this comedy magic show on a podcast. Because I made it. Prestige. And joining me is my panel of wizards. First up, we have two men who look like a heavy metal themed magic act called Spoonal Tap, Cecil and Noah.
I have the world's tiniest armadillo down my trouser. The tiniest one.
All I'm saying is you'll never catch two podcast editors cranking anything up to 11. Damn sure.
And also joining me is the ghost of James Randi past and his trusty henchmen, Eli and Tom.
Ooh, you hear that, Tom? We're men. Men who hench.
Finally, all of my goon training pays off.
All right, let's get right into it. Eli, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event are we going to be talking about today?
We'll be talking about skeptic, magician, and legend James Randi.
Great. You decided to talk about one of the most influential skeptics of all time right after his death. So, you ready to super duper fuck that up?
Indeed I am, Heath. For while many paid thoughtful tribute to Randi after his death, only I can bring the whimsical relationship to truth to this story that one iTunes reviewer has called, quote, the heart and soul of this podcast,
Really?
end quote.
What was it, you? Are you the reviewer?
That's neither here nor there, Heathelton.
It's
here.
both here and there.
Plus, I am going to make a bunch of vaguely problematic gay jokes. So
I don't know that the problematicness will be vague.
Yeah, cool. So, Noah, you want to quit the podcast with me?
Let's quit the.
No, you don't, Heath Enright, or No Illusions. No, you don't. Born Randall Zwinge on August 7th of 1928 in Toronto, Canada, the oldest of 3 children, James Randi, did not belong in suburbia.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Toronto now a suburb, Eli? Is that
It has suburbs.
Curious and fascinated by magic and the science behind it, he invented a pop-up toaster at the age of 9.
That's a mere 19 years after they were invented.
When interviewed, his sister recalled the time he accidentally destroyed their kitchen floor doing a chemistry experiment in the basement, and much to his parents' dismay, would often accidentally interrupt the radio reception of the whole neighborhood with his shortwave radio.
Nice.
His family were, as Cecil would call them, normies.
And Eli wouldn't take any notes from them on comedy. That's for sure.
I would not.
Eli, you know muggle represents a slur word, right? That's what that is. You're less woke than J.K. Rowling, just to be clear. That's what I'm saying.
If you want this essay to take a hard right turn into why Voldemort was right, it can.
I didn't. What? Please go on with James
13
Randi.
pages of argumentation. Anyways, Randy's family were ordinary folk. Simple, happy, dead-eyed ordinary folk. So they worried about Randy's experiments and curiosity. They sent him to Toronto's General Hospital for psychological testing. The hospital reported
fine suburban hospital?
The hospital reported back that he was perfectly normal, with the exception of having an IQ of 168.
Well, that's Canadian, right? That's probably metric or so. It's like 123 in America. Kind of smart.
Yeah, okay, but in America, 123, that's like convert down to 74 in Japan.
That's,
so
that's racist. That's racist. You're ranking the racist.
At the age of 15, he got his first taste of his life's calling when he was invited to a local spiritualist church where the preacher would divine the prayers of his parishioners despite the prayers being sealed in envelopes. Now,
it's impossible.
This is a pretty basic magic trick. And when Randy stood up at the service and accused the preacher of cheating, he was arrested for disturbing a religious meeting. And as Time magazine would so deftly put it in their article about him, quote, at the police station, he vowed that he would someday fight back against those who defiled his art, end quote.
His art?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Unlike real artists of magic who sell thumb lights and poison balloons by lying to little children at a toy store out of integrity.
That child died before the poison balloon lawsuit was settled, and you know it, Heath Enright.
I do know that.
Know it.
That's why it was settled.
At 16, he attended Oakwood Collegiate, where he finished everything but his finals because, according to him, quote, I didn't like one of the questions, so I decided I wouldn't do it, end quote.
And thus the protest vote was created there.
Okay, Randy, you can fly when you want to. You just don't want to right now. It's just it wouldn't even be a reasonable time for you to fly. We're inside.
But Randy's lifelong passion for magic wouldn't be truly cemented until, at the age of 17, he got hit by a car while riding his bike and broke his back.
Oh, I knew I should have picked a safer spot for the reappearance part of my act.
Now, I should mention that at this point in every article I read on Randy's life, it says that the doctor said he would never walk again. But that's anti-scientific bullshit people say to make their recoveries seem more miraculous. And Randy wouldn't want that. So it's not like the doctors fucking threw him out with the garbage and they came back the next morning to find him doing jumping jacks. That said, Randy was in a full body cast for 13 months or one COVID crisis.
Well, that's optimistic.
Extremely.
And while Randy was stuck in bed, he read magic books, practiced his lockpicking, and invented his very own illusions.
Okay, the coin is behind your ear. You're just going to have to trust me until I get out of this cast, but it is there.
Yeah, when the doctor removed the cast, he cut the legs off first, spun him around a few times.
As soon as he recovered, he ran away and joined the carnival.
Would we say ran, though?
At that carnival, he performed as Prince Ibis, not in blackface.
What?
Just saying. I know I've done a lot of essays about magicians over the years, and I just wanted to say that Randy proves it is possible to do magic not in blackface at some point in your career. Just
He could have been Prime Minister of Canada. That's integrity.
So it was at this time, while working at the carnival, that Randi established himself as an escape artist. According to Randi's account in the Toronto Star,
A fine suburban newspaper, yes.
quote, "One night in Quebec City, I met two policemen who recognized me, showed me a pair of handcuffs, and asked, 'Can you get out of these?' I got in the squad car on one side and came out on the other with them off. The policemen were totally amazed, so they took me to jail and I showed them that I could break out of a cell." End quote. Now, he would go on to break out of more than 24 jail cells. He broke Harry Houdini's record for fastest escape from underwater coffin and escaped from a straitjacket as he hung upside down 5 stories above the ground. It was at this time he also changed his name to James Randi because, let's be honest, who the fuck wants to go see Randall Zwinge do anything?
You got to go into the door hanging business with a name like that. Swinges hinges, guys. Swinges hinges.
That I'll go.
There you go. Well, and then another problem, like if people started like chanting more Zwinge, then something would rhyme with orange and the whole fucking dimension starts to collapse.
He moved to New York, where he appeared regularly on the TV shows It's Magic and Wonderama. He toured with Alice Cooper's $1 Billion Babies tour and invented several illusions for the show, where he played both the dentist and the executioner.
What? Why would those be two of the characters in the because a dentist invented the electric chair?
No,
it's a real thing.
Yeah. He even had his own show on New York radio for a couple of years, though he did quit that show when the Archbishop of New York complained that he had called Jesus Christ a religious nut on the air.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You think Jesus is a religious nut? Wait till you meet his followers, guys.
Are we just going to skip right over the part where he was a radio magician? Like, I mean, I guess that does sound like the Three of Clubs if you listen right.
How would you describe Eli's job?
Not magician. But the road life was not for Randi. Instead, he started giving talks on the paranormal with an eye especially for debunking those who would pass off magic tricks as real magic powers. As he put it, quote, "I started to say, what am I doing? 2 girls in net stockings and a van full of rabbits?
Caliente?
Yeah.
And everything like that? What am I doing?
I'd
Traveling
say
with all this
Caliente. I mean, I feel like
we
you
go
can put a
Caliente.
question.
No
rabbits-
question mark
yeah.
there.
Can we get a caliente quorum? I need a caliente quorum. What am I doing traveling with all this crap? When carrying an attaché case, it just means showing up at the airport and they pick me up. I do the thing and I get on the plane and come back and get exactly the same money. And not only that, but I'm accomplishing something. I come away with the feeling that even if I didn't convince anybody, I made them know there's an alternate point of view available to them." End quote.
I mean, I know he's acting like it's rhetorical, but the answer to that question is 2 girls in net stockings and a van full of fucking rabbits, caliente.
Fucking A.
That's locked in Caliente.
Hey, you gotta remember, he
All right.
wasn't a big fan of the girls in the net stockings, so...
What kind of rabbits? Do you ever see those enormous, like,
Soft
Danish ones or whatever?
Yeah. One of those in net stockings? I'd fuck it.
Anyway, lures Bugs Bunny in.
Wow,
the
it's
whole
just
thing.
going off the rails.
Back to my tribute to James Randi. Then, in 1972, Randi found his white whale, the Joker to his Batman, the healthy eating to his Eli Bosnick, Uri Geller.
The Grinch to his homeless Santa Claus.
That's right. Now, I already did an essay on Uri Geller, so I'll just give folks who missed that the highlights. Uri Geller is a shitty magician who, during the 1970s, took the world by storm by bending shit when people weren't looking. And so Randi was like, "Hey guys, he's just bending it when you're not looking. Just look and you'll see what I mean." To which the 1970s resoundingly responded, "What was that? I was looking at this giant pile of cocaine I was snorting. Holy shit, that dude bent my spoon with his mind."
And then they were like, "A bent spoon? Now I can do heroin."
Yeah, right.
Fucking A.
Exactly. And to give you an example of just what Randi was up against, here's a story straight from his Wikipedia page. Quote, "According to James Alcock, at a meeting where Randi was duplicating the performances of Uri Geller, a professor from the University at Buffalo shouted out that Randi was a fraud. Randi said, 'Yes, indeed, I'm a trickster, I'm a cheat, I'm a charlatan. That's what I do for a living. Everything I've done here was done by trickery.' The professor in turn shouted back, That's not what I mean. You're a fraud because you're pretending to do these things through trickery, but you're actually using psychic powers.
Jesus
misleading us
fucking
by not
Christ.
admitting it.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
The perfect crime?
Good Lord.
100% guarantee that guy would not be wearing a mask.
No.
That's
Hey.
just
Oh my God.
No, and it didn't just happen once. It continues, quote, a similar event involving Senator Claiborne Pell,
God damn
a
it.
Jesus.
first
What?
believer in psychic phenomenon. When Randy
Claiborne Pell? Sorry.
yeah,
Get the fuck out of here. Your name's not Claiborne Pell. Fuck you.
when Randy personally demonstrated to Pell that he could reveal, by simple trickery, a concealed drawing that had been secretly made by the senator, Pell refused to believe that it was a trick, saying, I think Randy may be a psychic and doesn't realize it.
Jesus.
And
fuck up.
won't.
What the
Okay. Hey, kids, you could also grow up to be a credulous dipshit and be a 6-term Rhode Island senator.
Wow.
Guys.
Oh.
Six
Well,
terms.
we let those 16
Fuck outta
people have
here.
a fucking senator or two, huh? Weird.
Yeah.
Why was a country where that guy went back to the Senate after saying that surprised about the Trump thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. And of course, as we covered on the Uri Geller episode, when Randy unequivocally exposed Geller as a fraud on the Johnny Carson show,
so good.
the consequence was that Geller was booked the following week on Merv Griffin.
Yep.
So in 1976, Randy approached Ray Hyman, a psychologist who, you might remember for pointing out how fucking stupid the so-called scientific tests done on Geller were, and suggested that they create an organization dedicated to combating pseudoscience together with fellow magician, Scientific American columnist, and 100% batshit crazy person, Martin Gardner. They formed the Committee for Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal, or PsyCop.
Nice. All right. Well, looks like James Randi found the spoon man to his black hole son and rallied up the posse. And that means it's time for a quick break for no reason, called Apropos of Nothing.
Oh, you must be Michelle's husband. I'm Brad.
Oh, I'm Nick. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
So Brad, what do you do?
Oh, I'm a plumber, actually.
Oh, excellent. Oh, you know what? I hope you don't mind, but I'm having an issue with the radiator in my upstairs bedroom. Do they all have a 10 by 1.5 thread? Is there a way to measure that?
Oh, I can't just plumb on demand like that. That's not how it works.
You can't.
No. The mood has to be right. It has to be the right day. The moon's a big part of it. It's important. Are you saying I'm not a plumber? Is that coming out?
That's not.
I'm not a plumber?
Wait, are you a plumber?
Yes, I am a plumber. Obviously, a plumber.
Like for a living?
Yeah, of course. Yes, for a living.
Okay. How are you a plumber for a living if you can only do it sometimes, though?
Well, most people I work with aren't so closed-minded about their plumbing needs. That's a big part
Wait, so
of it.
you can only be a plumber for open-minded people?
No, that would be dumb. It's just it's harder if they're not. I can't explain the whole thing exactly.
Okay,
I'm not.
all right. Wait, okay. So do you even know
So thousands of plumbers were killed in the Holocaust. Thousands of
what
us.
the hell is happening right now?
Plumber bigot. You are a plumber bigot. That's
Oh, okay.
outrageous. Cancel.
Okay.
And we're back. When we left off, James Randi was a real wizard pretending to be a skeptical narc who exposes illusionists pretending to be real wizards.
Mm-hmm.
But who watches The Watchmen, Eli? Who watches The Watchmen? So what's next?
The FBI for a little bit in the 1970s. All right. So
Oh.
from the formation of PsyCop forward, they thought Randy was a communist. It was a fun thing. The amazing Randy did one job for pretty much the rest of his life. He debunked fraudsters, con men, and hucksters, often on national television, and saved countless lives and livelihoods in the process. In 1981, he exposed psychic con man and child molester James Heydrich on the television show That's My Line. So Heydrich very convincingly could turn the pages of a telephone book by blowing through the gap in his two front teeth.
That's the whole trick.
Yeah,
I saw this video. That's the whole thing.
That's it.
And he's got a haircut, but just the
Did it
haircut.
whistle?
Yeah.
He looks a
Got a
little
bowl
like
cut.
he looks a little like a Caucasian Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
He does.
He's got a weird kung fu outfit.
He does.
His
have a
mom
kung fu
gave him a
outfit.
bowl haircut
Yep.
before he
It's
made his
kung
big
fu,
televised
but like
appearance.
a kung fu pilgrim, kind of.
Yeah, so Randy is like, yeah, it looks like he's fucking blowing on that through his big fucking teeth. So he surrounds the telephone book
What
with
big teeth you have?
So he's
Is it better to blow you with?
so Randy surrounds the telephone book with styrofoam peanuts,
Yep.
and the resulting 4 minutes of
Fantastic.
television,
So
my
amazing.
friends,
So good.
It's so
it
amazing.
is available on YouTube,
Yep.
and it is just some of the wonderful comedy James Randy left
It's
behind
so
as
good.
his legacy.
It's so good. He's walking. He's pacing back and forth like a lion in a cage. He can't. He's like a little kid trying to explain that the magic world in a wardrobe isn't open on Saturdays, so that's why you can't see it. That's why. That's the
best
reason.
part is watching James Heydrich have to, he realizes he's foiled and he has to still, try to move the page, knowing it's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's the best. He goes up to it, he takes different angles at it.
I need to move these peanuts out of the
so good. so
now,
good.
I should
It's an
point out,
electricity problem, guys. It's an electricity
It's
problem.
exactly what he said. So he's like, there's a charge between the lights
Okay,
and
it's
the
an electricity.
styrofoam.
He picks up the
Holding
pages
the
and he's like,
pages down.
look, see, if you hold the page up and then you let it go, the static makes it fall. And everybody's like, that's fucking gravity, man. What are you talking about?
did you fuck a bunch of kids?
Did you say nya?
We wish he had said "nya." Now, not everyone Randy tested was a fraud. This is one of my favorite things. It's a quote from Wikipedia. In 1982, Randy verified the abilities of Arthur Lindgren, a Philadelphia doctor who was able to identify the classical music recorded on a vinyl LP solely by examining the grooves on the record.
That's awesome.
Really?
However, Lindgren did not claim to have any paranormal ability, merely knowledge of the way that the grooves form patterns on particular recording. And you got to admit, that's a pretty awkward afterthought, right?
Wow. 5 for 5. You
Yeah.
really do have magic music reading powers.
No, I don't have powers. I just know what a few records look like. So I was able to do
Oh,
it.
so you just have a hobby.
A hobby, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's stupid.
Yeah. Super stupid. How old's your husband again?
Hey, fuck you. You know?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
A record thing's real. It's cool.
So great.
You didn't answer.
That's glad didn't have to make it through the whole essay there about a man who's the reason we all have jobs without taking a swipe at his husband's age there, Eli. Glad we
No, it's okay. It's
did.
fine, Cecil. He had me and Heath do it. It was
I see.
Hey, them
I
as a
see.
skit
People get
without
mad.
him in it.
How old was his husband?
Yeah.
Go ahead and Google. So in 1986,
Jesus
Randy,
Christ.
legal. He was legal.
Is it like
spoiler alert,
nya legal or like legal?
Oh, legal.
Okay.
So solid
All right,
legal. Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
So in 1986, Randy
I
was
bet
awarded.
you are, Heath.
It's consenting adults, whether they're brother and
It's
sister.
half,
it's
half
all
your age minus 7, right?
the
It's half your
the
age
seven.
minus 7.
Like
Nya.
this, Randy and Heath, then right? Like this. So in 1986, Randy was awarded a MacArthur Foundation Fellowship, which he dedicated almost entirely to exposing his least favorite kind of con man, faith healers, specifically W.V. Grant, Ernst Angley, and Peter Popoff. Once again, on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, Randy exposed that Popoff made use of a secret earpiece and prayer cards gathered by his assistants for his divine revelations, playing the audio he and his team had picked up with a radio scanner over the footage of Popoff's act. The resulting news coverage led to many TV stations dropping Popoff's show, and he declared bankruptcy in September of 1987. But don't feel too good. As recently as 2005, Popoff was back on the grift and reportedly pulling in $23 million a pop.
What?
A rubber ducky's gonna
Yeah,
duck.
and 100% true selling get out of debt holy water that you could charge to your overburdened credit card.
Oh, yeah.
Cecil, I
Yep.
cannot believe people will swallow that. They must be wet behind the ears. That's
H2O. They owe credit.
They owe the money.
They owe the money. Thank
I
you,
get it.
Cecil.
I got it. I got you, bro. I got you.
H2O is the chemical Go ahead.
Randy also set up several hoaxes
Past
of his
due. Due is also water. I forget.
All right, that's a good one, though. That's good.
Randy also set up several hoaxes of his own. With Project Alpha, Randy exposed the problem with untrained scientists supposedly testing psychic powers by including 2 young magicians in the test. Unsurprisingly, those young magicians fooled the scientists testing them. But Randy was nice enough not to claim he'd disproved all of women's studies with his hoax.
Okay, but where'd the conceptual penis come from? Classic move.
Yeah, Eli, you say faith healers were his favorite people to expose, and that's true, but people with advanced degrees that were dumber than him, that was a close second, I think.
yeah. We definitely need more attacks on the highly educated. That is America's biggest threat. We gotta
Can be when they think they're smarter than they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Get after
It
'em.
can be when we can fool them with blowing on a compass. In 1986, Randy exposed the gullibility of the media by teaming up with Australia's 60 Minutes.
Yeah, same show as the U.S. version. It just runs backwards. So
So he put out a press release for the spirit channeler, Carlos, who was actually Randy's partner, the artist Jose Alvarez. Now, the point of the hoax was that without the extensive and unskeptical media coverage they got, they wouldn't have sold any tickets. But they did get that coverage, and so they did sell those tickets.
Well, and what's truly amazing about this one to me is that he would have somebody come, like after Carlos did his little demonstration, somebody would come in and say to the media, no, it's bullshit. Let me show you how we just did that. And the media would still run the credulous fucking stories.
Yes, they would.
Just lamestream media.
But then, on June 7th of 1989, James Randi presented his first and only Debunktacular, a 2-hour live special called Exploring Psychic Powers. The show offered $100,000 to anyone who could prove they had genuine psychic powers. Spoiler alert, that money was safer than the time Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather.
whoa. That is literally the most unabashedly masculine joke I have ever heard you make, Eli. Nice job, man. I'm going to go get you some mango nectar.
I've already got a huge glass of it, though, right here. I'm going to drink some to celebrate. That's bad radio. Don't do that. First up, the astrologer Joseph Merriweather attempted to guess the star signs of 12 people by talking briefly with them. He got 0 correct.
Just say Pisces
not
every
very
time,
many.
man.
I mean, admittedly, if it was one person and he had 12 tries, he'd get it right. I mean,
I don't know that we can guarantee that, Cecil. We can go, wait, are you sure it wasn't Sagittarius? Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
he just says that 12 times in a row.
Noah said to keep saying Sagittarius.
This is a cusp. It's different. It's not exactly the. Fuck you.
Yeah. So next up, psychic Barbara Martin's ability to read auras was tested. So 10 large screens were placed in front of her, and she was asked to identify, based on the auras, which of the screens had people behind them.
Oh, that's brilliant.
She claimed that all 10 screens had people behind them, when in fact there were only 4 people behind the screen.
Well, but that's the equivalent of just saying Pisces every time. That's nice. I like it. I like it.
People that we know of.
Yeah, but Eli, she wasn't allowed to stand close enough to see them. It's a classic My Cousin Vinny gambit.
Maybe the
next up,
screens have auras also.
After that, a dowser, Forrest Bays, tried to find water in a bottle inside a sealed cardboard box, and a psychometric psychic, Sharon McLaren Strauss, who's probably related to he.
That's a lot of psychic in there.
Yeah, she
That
tried
seems
to
redundant.
match keys to their owners. They both failed.
They were imperial keys, so psychometric didn't work.
Yeah. But my favorite fail of the evening was professional crystal healer Valerie Swan, who attempted to use ESP to identify the symbols on 250 Zener cards. She got 50 correct.
Oh,
which,
amazing.
Nice.
for those of you who are not math nerds or aren't familiar with Zener cards, is exactly as good as random chance.
She just said Pisces
so-
every time.
So that's a tie. Not bad. Math won. That lady won.
Side note about this, Exposing Psychic Powers, that TV show, was the start of my favorite rumor about James Randi. Yes, even better than he had psychic powers and pretended not to. It was that he had anti-psychic power
Yes.
and then uses them on people when he debunks them.
What?
A rumor that became so common that later on, Randi had to agree not to know certain tests were going on so that he couldn't use his
That's so fucking
anti-magic
sad.
on them.
This is literally an argument somebody's made while talking to me about this. They brought that. They were like,
Multiple
"Oh,
times.
well, there's a lot of anti-psychic. He could have been blocking. You know, he could have used the anti-magic as like a blanket spell before, even if he didn't know about it. He could have just done that ahead of time."
Yeah, and then the psychic has to cast an interrupt, and it becomes a whole fucking thing.
Tap all the mana ahead of time.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it turns out that offering people money if they could do what they say is an excellent way to prove that people can't fucking do what they say. So starting in 1996, the newly formed James Randi Educational Foundation, or JREF, offered a prize of $1 million to anyone able to demonstrate a supernatural ability under scientific testing criteria agreed to by both sides. Now, several popular psychics were asked if they would accept the challenge, including Rosemary Altea, John Edwards, Sylvia Brown said yes, actually, but then never showed up. So JREF kept a clock on its website recording the number of weeks since Brown had accepted the challenge without falling through. And they kept that clock on their website until Brown's death in November of 2013.
Well, okay, but knowing Sylvia Brown, that doesn't mean she's still not going to take the challenge.
Now, I will point out there is a public log of everyone who ever participated in the $1 Million Challenge, complete with video for those who actually showed up.
Anybody win?
No, but to spare you going through dozens of website pages, they all pretty much went like this.
Hi, I'm a psychic, and I would like $1 million, please.
Sure. Just tell us what you can do and let us watch you do it.
I quit the challenge. Fuck you.
Oh, okay. Now, be fair, Eli. That's not how they all went.
Seven of diamonds?
No.
Fuck you. I quit the challenge.
Yep, that happened too. That's fair. That's fair. So until the challenge was withdrawn with Randy's retirement in 2015, nobody ever claimed the prize.
Yeah. Oh, hey, but hey, for what it's worth, same challenge, but I'll give you $1 billion. Okay.
A billion, a jillion.
A jillion. Fuck yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
There's so much more Randy stuff we could talk about. He arranged conferences, he wrote for and produced several skeptical publications, he even got his own documentary. And on October 20th of 2020, he died of what the James Randi Educational Foundation Riley called age-related causes, which is a really nice way to say he was fucking old.
Yeah, he was really old.
Yeah,
Which he was. But he was also a legend, and he will be sorely missed.
Absolutely. And if you had to summarize what you've learned in one sentence, what would it be?
Anyone who claimed to be a psychic from 1996 to 2015 is a liar, evil, or both.
Yeah,
pretty much
also
both.
all the other years. Are you ready for the quiz?
Yes, and I can prove it.
I don't know that you can.
Eli, James Randi changed his name because it didn't fit his occupation. What other names and occupations could he have tried? A purveyor of shitty beer, James Shandy. B, a pyrotechnic artist, Flames Randy. C, a cow rustler, James Brandy. Or D,
Brand.
a person who frequents shady massage parlors, Robert Kraft.
I'm going to go with C, James Brandy. Because
Brandy. That's it.
Yeah, because he can also lead the Nixium cult that way.
All right, Eli. psychic powers aren't real, but if they were, which one would be the best to have for our show? A, automatic writing, which is the act of writing without conscious intent, otherwise known as the Eli
What
method.
you just heard.
Yes,
That's
that'll
it.
do it. Yeah,
That's it.
it's
That's
A.
it.
Yeah,
It's just- that's
It's
the
an
best
easy
one
one.
for the show.
And you made it easy
That's it.
for you because there's
Yeah.
just the one choice. Okay.
Yep.
So I have one last question for you, Eli. Like everybody else on the show, I am a big fan of James Randi, and I was fortunate enough to meet him briefly on 2 occasions. So my question to you is: on those 2 occasions, which of the following things did James Randi actually do? A, accused me of stealing. B,
What?
challenged me to a fight. C, told my wife she was too good for me. Or D, all of the above.
Oh my God! Please tell me you
Jesus
saw
Christ.
James Randi.
Really?
Beat the fuck out of James Randi.
Hoping for a D. Give me that D, Noah. Give me that D.
Oh, it is D, sir. It is D, as bad as you want it to be D. So, yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, regardless, you beat up James Randi. Noah, you're
I
the
didn't
winner.
beat,
Yeah,
I
if
didn't
you
say
beat
I
up who the
accepted.
essay's about.
I didn't accept. But I'll let Cecil go next so that it's somebody who won't accuse me of beating up an
All
old man.
right. Well, for Tom, Noah, Cecil, and Eli, I'm Heath. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week, and by then, Cecil will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can hear Tom and Cecil on Cognitive Dissonance, and you can hear Eli, Noah, and myself on God Awful Movies, Scathing Atheist, Skeptocrat, and D&D Minus. Occasionally, we do video, but mostly audio.
No,
and
just
now,
audio.
I want you all, everybody listening, I want you all to think of a card. Got it? 7 of diamonds. If I nailed it because I'm magic, you can make a per episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod and vastly increase our donation batting average, which is well below 1 in 52. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, listen to past episodes, connect with us on social media, take a look at the show notes, check out citationpod.com.
Oh, okay. Tell you what. Tell me what kind of plumbing you can do. Do it, and I'll give you $1 million.
No.
Hey, you're not a fucking plumber, are you?
No, I'm not.
I didn't think you were a plumber.